Why are you so quiet?
Bro, I'm tired, dude.
What time is it? Like 9?
Well, yeah, it's not like I'm super late. I took a nap, bro.
Oh, you just woke up from a nap?
I mean, yeah, it was like one of them 20-minute ones.
Oh, gotcha.
I knew I needed to up the energy for the pod, but
Bro, can we not sleep on Blue Powerade though?
dude, I'm thirsty, bro.
When's the last time you had Blue Powerade?
Dude, I don't remember the last time I had a drink.
Oh, dang, dude.
I'm thirsty. Should I go get a water?
Well, yeah, you can, and I'll just talk because I've got a couple things to say. So,
Are there things that you'd rather say without me here?
yeah, I'm like, actually, do you want to leave? I've got a lot of crap to talk on you.
Bro.
No, I'm gonna say I just have I think I have a problem because no matter where I am, no matter what I'm doing, I'm out and about all the time here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, you know what? I think I need a drink. Or, I think I need a snack. And it is dominated the better part of my life to where there's just like convenience stores and pop-up shops and shacks, restaurants all around me all the time. And I cave multiple times a day. At least since I've been here.
Just giving in to getting a nice drink.
I mean, if anyone ever said, hey man, like, you down to get a drink? Or like, dude, I could eat right now. I almost will never be like, I'm okay. Like, I'm always down for that.
I know, dude. I am probably the exact same way. And maybe you trained me to be that way.
Dude, and I'm sorry if I did. And the experience of walking into a place, getting your cup, picking out what you want, it's a lot of fun too. It's a nice little treat throughout the day.
No, I love getting drinks. It doesn't do good for my bottom line. That is my stomach fat. But
oh, you mean that bottom line? I thought you were talking about like your bank account.
Oh, that too.
Like, that's accurate.
No, yes, all of the above, my guy.
Yeah. Danny, what have you been up to today?
Bro, I feel like there's a good amount of stuff we need to talk about.
Oh, so just cut the small talk?
Okay. Yeah, can you just please cut to the chase?
Hey, dude, don't you dare ask me how I'm doing. We've got much more important things on our hands. You know what? That's me. That's on me, though. That's on me. I will accept that.
That's so funny, actually.
My bad.
No, dude,
You're right.
I mean, you can see the tiredness in my eyes. Can't you?
Yeah, you look a little sleepy, yeah.
And I'm not talking about sleepy. I'm tired of this bull crap. Okay.
Oh, crap.
And it's your bull crap. No, I'm just kidding, dude.
Oh, shoot. I love Pissed Off Gabe. It's one of my favorite versions.
Just the energy. Dude, no, okay. No, let's do small talk. Okay, do you have some things to say? Can I go get a drink?
I mean, yeah, go get a drink. I'm sure I can come up with something.
I would love some water, so I'm just going to grab something real quick. I'll be back.
Okay. I'm just going to wait for him to really leave. Which I think he has. I mean, my uppies. The thing is Gabe is going to see this when he edits, so I really can't say anything I want. But I will say that Gabe is, he's like bittersweet chocolate. It's an Office reference if you don't get that. He is like bittersweet chocolate, He's a really good guy, and I think he means well, but at the same time, he gets under my skin. And it's like, I've never had a relationship where I want to hug somebody and just like backhand somebody at the same time. And that's what Gabe does for me. And that's what keeps our relationship, spicy. Because Gabe and I have been friends for a long, long time. And I was thinking about ending things, and then he wanted to start a podcast, so I didn't really have a way out. So now I'm kind of stuck in this 6-month cycle of podcasting, and we're coming up on a year in 6 more months. I mean, that adds up. But man, I will say, I've thought about doing solo podcasts, and I wonder how hard it would be, because I feel like maybe a couple episodes would be fine. But it is hard without connecting directly live with another person. And I've listened to solo podcasts on my own, and I think they're good, but I think for the most part they're always better when you've got another personality, when you've got commentary and like somebody you're speaking to, directly so that they can respond and then you guys can like share experiences and right? It's like the same thing with life. Everything's way better with other people. I mean, you need alone time, but oh crap.
I'm so excited to hear what you had to say in editing.
Dude, I was just saying like I've listened to like people do solo podcasts and I think I could do it.
Mm-hmm.
I might be able to get away with a couple episodes, but I think it would get old really fast. I just don't think it would be that fun or like as engaging without having, somebody live to react and to communicate and to express feelings and thoughts and to be, I don't know, just to have that interaction. It would be hard not to do that for like hours on end.
No, dude, yeah. Making solo stuff, whether it be podcasts or just in general videos, it's tough, dude. Some people's personality is better for it. Like they just can ramble on and be completely authentically themselves without needing the back and forth of other people's reactions. Not for me though, dude. Like,
Yeah, I'm way too dependent.
Yeah, I'm way too dependent on other people's reactions because like how the heck am I supposed to make jokes or have like high energy levels if I don't know that you're like really engaged? Even people just like if I'm like hanging out with someone and they seem kind of like distracted or not that interested, I'm like, oh bro, my social performance is dropping. I can't keep up with this.
Yeah, that's one of the worst feelings, bro. Being with somebody and feeling like they're not there with you. Like nothing is more unattractive in any person than when they're not like present. Whether that's on their phone or like mentally, they're just always kind of somewhere else. It's you can't really have relationships with those type of people, at least very strong ones,
That's why like I mean, I don't really have a list when it comes to girls or hanging out with people but that's one of the things I look for. How present they are. Now I get like if we're both like okay, we're not in the like if we're both in the mood to just kind of hang out on our phones, like that's a vibe in itself.
Sure.
But I'm like, but yeah, when I'm telling a story or when I'm asking you a question or when you're asking me a question, like there's no reason why you should be distracted or looking for a way out, unless like we don't like each other as people. Then it's like, yeah, I mean, if I'm hanging out with someone, I'm like, this person's really awkward, then I'm just gonna whip out my phone. Like I get it. So if someone does that around me, I'm like,
I
okay, so you're not that interested in hanging out with me. I get it. No, but that's definitely a huge sign of maturity is how present they are in the moment.
I agree. There was The Last Dance. It was the Michael Jordan documentary that came out a couple of years ago. And there was a part in it where they were trying to figure out, or they were going back and forth saying, what makes Michael Jordan the best athlete of all time? Not even just basketball player, just straight up athlete, best competitor of all time. And they were going, back and forth. And then one of the people that he trained with, I don't remember if it was a personal friend or how he knew this person, but he said what he thought made Michael Jordan the GOAT was not his athletic ability, which was second to none, was not his clutchness, was not his necessarily competitiveness, wasn't any of the things, not his like longer Achilles band or like anything physically or not even necessarily mentally, but it was his ability to be present at all times. He was never in the past. He was never in the future. He's had this like innate ability to always be exactly where he was and nowhere else. Yeah. And that's what allowed him to do the things he did. Dang. And I thought that was really cool.
Well, I've always been confused because people say, hey, if you want to be like more engaging in conversation or whatever, or like a better listener, just be purely in the moment. And when someone's talking to you, don't be looking for, the thing to say or the next thing to say or the next question to ask. But I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Like if I'm purely listening to you, okay, and then like you say something and then you're finished and I'm like, okay, so now I have to process all of that, come up with a response. But I'm like, but I like to, as you're talking, be like, oh, I want to say something, like write it down on a mental note. And then like another thing, I'm like, oh, I got to say this too, mental note. So then when you're like done, I'm like, okay, I listened to all that and I got some things. I feel like, isn't that like make more sense? Because I'm still listening. It's not like I'm like completely distracted by the next thing I want to say. There are people out there that'll like interrupt you and be like, well, you know, like, and I'm like, maybe I do that sometimes, but those people aren't like fully listening. Like, you gotta let the person finish. But I feel like it's hard to be completely and utterly in the present, because even now I'm like, dude, what are some things I can talk about for the pod? So I'm like going back in my history, like, what did I do yesterday? What you know, what are some things I've been thinking about? So I don't know, dude. I definitely don't live in the present very often, because I'll be watching a TV show and be like, dang, dude, I'm mostly just like stressed or thinking about the past or the future. You know what I mean? So it's a skill I gotta increase.
Yeah, I mean, that's something I'm still learning as well. And I don't know if anybody can really necessarily master it. It sounds like MJ did. But yeah, I've noticed that when things happen to me, and this is really, really strange. I noticed this week, so it's funny that we're talking about this. But I noticed that when something is occurring in my life, I'm planning how I'm going to tell that in the future. So I love to storytell, and like I love to engage people with stories and experiences, and like that's kind of one of my, I don't know if I would say love languages, but that's how I communicate with others.
Mm-hmm.
So I love telling stories and connecting metaphors and analogies, and I think that's super powerful. And so like something happened to me the other day, and I was like, as it was happening, I was planning in my mind, how am I going to tell this to Gabe when we talk on the pod? Or like, how am I going to explain this to my kids? And like, dude, it's a weird thing that my brain does. And then, but that also kind of sucks because I can't experience that moment fully, because it's like a weird phenomenon that I have going on. And I just noticed it this week, and I noticed that I do it every day. Like multiple times a day. It's crazy.
Wow. No, I think that's I mean, it might be a good thing, honestly, because maybe you can't enjoy it or, you know, process it fully while you're there in the moment. But I'm like, I don't know, we're social creatures, right? Same thing happens to me. Same thing happens to me with stuff on the internet or fun things. Like I do not get 100% enjoyment from things that I find entertaining or funny without knowing that I have someone to share it with. If I was like, oh, that's funny, and there's no one else to share it with, like that sucks, you know? And so even when for example, when I was single and Luke was on his mission and like you and I weren't hanging out, so I just didn't really have like much of a social life, dude, like I'd like see a funny TikTok or, you know, a funny video, and I'm just like, that's hilarious, dude. I'd laugh out loud and be like, I guess I'll just save this for eventually one day when I get to share this with someone. That sounds so lonely, dude. But I'm like, no,
I know that.
It's like now it's just everything. I'm just like, oh, I gotta show this to Luke, and
right,
yeah. So it's definitely a thing. I don't know if it happens to me the same way as you, where it's like something is happening in my real life, and I'm like, how am I gonna share this story? But with certain things, I'm like I don't ever want to watch movies or TV shows alone. Like I'm always like, well, what's the point? Like I'm not sharing it with anyone, so why would I watch this?
Dang, dude, that's profound, and I think that's a great way to think for when, you know, you are married. You'll already have that mindset of how important it is to have that person with you and to experience things with them. Because at the end of the day, dude, there really is nothing more beautiful than human connection. You can't like copy it. You can't fabricate it. You can't like cheapen it. Like human connection is the best thing
since sliced bread
that we do. Yeah. Bro. What does it even mean, dude? Is sliced bread really that amazing? I mean, I feel like I could just pull it apart. And, like, do you get the French bread? Like when you guys have lasagna or something, you know what I'm talking about? Like that French bread. Dude, I like pulling that apart and eating it. Like, there's got to be something better to use than sliced bread. Maybe like cars or planes.
Yeah, but like I think the first time that people sliced some bread, dude.
I know, they're like, holy crap.
Like, are you kidding me, man? No, that's a funny saying, because every single time someone says it's the best thing, you know, since, and I'm just like, sliced bread.
What else can you use?
I don't know. Since the wheel, I don't know, but there's already a thing about that. Reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
No, you're 100% correct. Human interaction is in some cases can be like some of the scariest stuff in life. Right, when you're in like a confrontation, right? It's stuff that people will go their entire lives avoiding. Is certain types of human contact
Yes.
and interaction, whether it be talking in front of them, performing something in front of a bunch of people, or having an argument that you've been like putting off or whatever. But it's also some of the funnest because I'm like, yeah, without other people, like imagine if everyone died and you were the last person on earth, dude. There's a reason why like loneliness drives people insane. Like it's just really not. Like introverts, like we're you and I are both like extroverted introverts kind of thing.
For sure.
Maybe like at different percentages. But no, dude, I go on waves of like I'll go for 2 weeks and I'm just like, dude, I'm so glad I'm alone, dude. I don't care about hanging out with anybody. And then I'll have like a few days where I'm just like pretty, emotionally upset about the fact that I really don't have like a huge friend group. I'm just like, oh my gosh, dude, like I want a friend group. But as soon as I get a friend group, I'm like, okay, 90% of you guys I don't want to hang out with anymore. And I like pick a couple people to keep in contact with, and then they go get married, and then I'm like back to square one.
Yeah, no, and yeah. With our demographic, it is a constant catch and release with friends, and it's hard to keep some around.
Yeah.
I don't know. Obviously, those aren't the people worth putting energy or attention into.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, you said something really important.
Did I?
When you're talking about that? Oh yeah. You're talking about extrovert, introverted. Dude,
Yeah.
I've noticed that I was so much more introverted at home when I knew everybody around me, because I didn't have like a hunger or desire to put myself out there.
Yeah.
But dude, since I've been here, I have never been more extroverted in my life, except for my mission, which
Really?
I had to do that, and I love to do it, and I chose to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But here, it's just like a different kind of extroversion. To where, yeah, dude,
word.
I'm on X Games mode right now. Like honestly, like you wouldn't believe. Like, I don't care the circumstance. I don't care the situation. I don't care who it is, bro. I am talking to them, and I'm being like extra too. Like I've only got maybe a couple months. I don't know how long I'll be here, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to make the most of it. And dude, the second I leave the house to when I get home at night, I am going absolutely stupid crazy. Like
really, I wish I was there to see it, bro.
dude, it really has been so good for me, like pushing me. It's crazy. You think it'd be the other way around, to where I would be extroverted if I knew people, and then
Yeah.
I'd be introverted if I didn't. But it's been the opposite, which has been really crazy. Because I find like I don't find my social battery really running out. Like yeah, like I'm tired and I like to be by myself at points. Obviously, I'm a human being.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been insane, dude. It's been so crazy. And it's made like great friendships. I've made some like met amazing people, had really cool experiences. Like I feel like I've been here like a year. I've been here a month, and I just have some really just like great connections and experiences, and it's been super good for me. So I'm glad that we talked about that, because I don't think I notice things until I start talking about them, right?
Yeah.
Because everything's just like bottled up inside.
So would you say that, because I remember you at Axis, you felt pretty comfortable just kind of doing your own thing, not being super extroverted. You have a personality of an extroverted person, but like your actions are usually introverted. And I feel like I'm the same way. Like when I'm around people, it's, I'm fun, I'm loud or whatever. But if I don't have to, or if there's no one like pulling me to be social, like kind of stick to myself.
Yeah, for sure.
So do you think that the Hawaii situation or experience has caused you to be more so like, because I mean, I feel you put forth your own effort. You like made it a goal to go out and talk to people. Is it now naturally just a part of you? Like, are you changed man because of Hawaii?
Dude, I really think I am. It's hard because my sample size hasn't been very big. And like I liked who I was before, but I did find myself looking more inwards. Obviously, when you don't talk to, more people than your family and your close friends, it's hard not to look inward, because you only have to worry about yourself and what's comfortable, right? And my favorite saying is casualty results in casualties. And I think I was a victim of that. Dude. Yeah, hang on. Yeah, take your time. You're good. You're like, holy crap.
Wow.
But I think I was victim of that for the last couple of years. without really realizing it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like I could blame it on the Utah culture or those people around me, but it was definitely me. But I will say I was terrified to talk to anybody like in Utah County, like whether that was a girl or a guy. I just felt like scared. I don't know if it was just me or like the energy that I felt, and for no particular reason other than like I guess rejection, but more just like being judged. And I
Yeah.
don't know if I don't think it's placebo. I think it's just, you get put in a different area. And once you change your environment, like a lot of you changes too. Sometimes that's all you need is just to change your environment to change as a person.
Dude, that's true.
And like here, bro, everyone is so inclusive and generally just everybody's kind. And like I'm just not scared. It's like people say it's like second nature. That doesn't make sense. It's like first nature. Like it is my nature to just
Yeah.
talk to everybody and just like to make friends. Like
Dang,
I'll be
dude.
walking down the street. I'm like, dang, I think these guys are my friends. Like in my in my head, and then I just like start talking to them, and then they are. Like it's pretty cool.
That is dope, dude.
And like, yeah, I thought I was gonna have to continue like to force myself to do it. And sometimes, yeah, it's tough, but now it just is kind of I don't really have to think about it,
I so okay, so I've battled with this idea that being super social, like having lots of friends, is like a necessary evil because so my brain goes like this. I go, dang, dude, I want a girlfriend, like I want to be married, like I want a relationship, right? And I'm like, well, I gotta like meet people. I gotta go out and like have a friend group and like do all the stuff, be social. Kind of like sometimes I think about college. I'm like, well, if I was in college, I'd meet more girls, and I'm like, gonna have a friend group. But then I'm like, yeah, but here's the thing. As soon as I get married, as soon as I have a girlfriend, like, dude, it's me and her all day. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to have like a huge friend group. The goal is just like the, the wife or the girl, So I'm like,
yeah.
I just want to skip the whole make a bunch of friends thing. I just don't need a bunch of friends. I need my family, which my wife will end up becoming my family. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And so I'm like, is it a necessary evil? Like, do I have to go make a bunch of friends and be really social to find someone? Or can I just see a cute girl, ask her on a date, and then, rinse and repeat until I find the one, Can I just do that? Do I have to have a friend group?
That's a great train of thought. And I feel similar. I wish I had answers because that is a great question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I don't know. I think it's easy to get caught up in like, well, how is this going to affect me? How does it help me? What blessings or like what good things are going to happen because I do this?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've kind of been thinking like maybe we're supposed to be put in other people's lives for their benefit and not only our own. And then along the way, we receive something that's for us.
Dude, facts.
And I think that's kind of how the universe just goes, bro. Like,
Bro.
I'm not trying to be like insightful. Like I've just been thinking, and it's funny. This is a really great topic and episode. I really like this because, again, I think it's just so easy to look inward, right? But it's like, bro, like maybe I was just supposed to be here at this time just for somebody that who knows. In the grand scheme of things, like the plan that the Lord has, dude, who knows? Like how necessary it was for me to just be involved for a bit and then not.
Yeah.
And I already know, dude. When I look back on my life when I'm old, I'm going to regret being so doubtful and like so questionable of the Lord. Like,
yeah.
Obviously I want to, like, I do trust him and I want to be better at having more faith. And, I definitely can be better at that. And I know deep down everything's going to work out, but I already know at least up till this point in my life, that's something I'm going to look back and be like, man, I wish I wouldn't have just doubted so much.
Yeah.
And not doubted necessarily and like, it's not going to happen, but more like it's going to happen. And having more faith in that, because I think it's just so easy to be like, dude, like, is anything, like in these formative years, like a lot of things go bad. They just do.
Yeah.
And it's hard to see blessings sometimes. So, all right, and I'm trying to turn that regret or that weakness into a strength. But in these years of, at least in my life, I've found myself just being just too doubtful, as if everything isn't going to work out, like it already hasn't.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
No, dude, I feel you. Like, sometimes I wonder, I'm like, dude, and maybe you've wondered the same stuff. It's like, it's all the same idea. Is it really going to work out?
Yeah, it's our nature for sure.
Like, I'm like, dude, because like, time is clicking every day,
Uh,
and I feel like I'm putting forth effort to the best of my, like, I know that it's not the best of my ability because everyone can like do better, but I'm like, to the best of my current awareness, right?
mm,
I'm putting forth the effort that is like I know I need to do better, but this is what I got, and things don't work out all the time, and this is like many aspects, like career, personal happiness, relationships, family, like whatever it is, right? Religious stuff, spiritual stuff, and sometimes things are just on a good streak, and you have the down days, and it really is just I don't know, it's got to just be the overall is what make. I mean,
yeah,
that's what it is, like
yeah,
everyone has bad days, and it doesn't ever define you, but.
dude.
I
Yeah, I think
definitely need to, because you said something earlier that was really, really good. You're like, I think we go into other people's lives for their benefit, like, right, like more of a selfless type of outlook on it, perspective. Because I'll be honest, I'm way too selfish, dude. Like 99% of my thought process is like, just like the goals I want in my life, the goals I have set for myself, like how do I accomplish those? And it's all about me. You know what I mean? It's like, how do I get my career going? How do I get married? And I'm like, do I ever think about like, okay, how do I be like the best person for my future family? Right? Or how do I best serve others in my career? I think I should probably switch it up, or else, I don't know. I just am
yeah, no,
way
I'm
too
I'm with you,
selfish.
dude. Yeah, no, it's hard because that's like natural man, just looking inward. But I don't know, classic scriptures like when you lose yourself, you'll find yourself in
Dude,
the service
true.
of others, right?
And that's the thing is
But
like,
if you,
you gotta trust, because sometimes I'm like, well, yeah, like I know that, but like I don't know if I feel
mm,
like if I let go of being selfish, I feel like, well, who's gonna take care of the things I want and need?
yeah, yeah,
Because if I'm just focused on other people, like who's gonna take, what I mean? And I know that Jesus Christ and the scriptures and God, they all say like, let go of that, and I'll take care of you, kind of thing. And I'm just
right.
like, bro, I obviously do not have enough faith to do that right now,
Yeah,
because I
and that's
haven't.
funny because like one of the best stories is the rich young ruler, right, in the New Testament, and he comes to the Savior and he's like, "Hey, like I've done everything you've asked, but the one thing he couldn't give up was his pride, like what his possessions, right?" And I don't
Yeah,
think we're taught that because of the physical possessions, but because of what they represent, and that's his pride. And so we can do everything right, but deep down have the most important thing wrong. And I feel like that was his issue. And I think that's in one degree or another, we all suffer from that with some part of our lives. And I think our task is to identify that and then fix it or
totally.
make it better. But I do think that, yeah, I think we'll look back and be like, man, like, why did I worry so much? And when you're in the moment, it's hard not to.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that will be something similar that most of our generation or of our age group or I think most people will look back and kind of think the same thing. And if they don't, that's great because that's so good on them and they have that faith and like that confidence. And but sometimes it's hard to have that.
Yeah.
So I already know I'm gonna look back, but man, like I wish I wouldn't have worried so much. I
Yeah.
wish I would have just like trusted more.
Like, chilled out.
But yeah, actually, and like I'm like a way chill guy, and like you're a chill
Yeah.
guy, but yeah,
We just
I just don't need to worry so much, man.
Yeah, and the thing is we want, like, we have large desires, I feel like,
Mm-hmm.
for our lives. And so, yeah, we get caught up, like, I mean, impatience is definitely a big part of it. Like, I'm like, yeah, like, I know it'll happen eventually. Like, I'm not going to live this way forever.
Yeah,
My life has changed so much every single year I've been alive. It's, like, way different. There's different things happening. It's like,
facts.
whether it be with careers or girls or with friends or with family or whatever, it's like, sometimes we're like, oh crap, this thing's not working out. Like, this girl doesn't like me, and we're freaking out in that moment. But like, that moment's like 2 weeks maybe of like worrying, and then like the
Yeah,
next month, right, there's like some new girl or some new career opportunity or whatever, and it's like, and a year from that point, it's like I don't even think back at those things anymore. Like, the crap I was worrying about a year and a half ago or however long ago was Axis. Dude, I never even think about that stuff anymore. Like, I don't even consider it.
That's like crazy. Yeah.
And I'm like, and so now the things I'm worrying about today, I'm like, bro, I just gotta relax.
True, dude, life's just too short, man. It really is.
Yeah, dude.
Like, shoot your shot, take a risk. Let me be one of those Instagram cheesy posts, you know?
Yeah, bro.
Send that risky text.
Yeah, dude.
Go skydiving. Live your best life. Call out of work. It's like, okay, just
like relax.
This is making me not want to do those things.
Yeah. It's like written in cursive, just girly things.
Exactly, yeah, with like the backgrounds, like, you know, a mountain or a waterfall. You go, okay.
Yeah, dude. Life is just a bunch of cliches, really.
It is. But isn't that kind of the best part?
Wow. It is.
Bro, this was, you know, a little vulnerability hour here, and it feels good, dude. It feels good.
It does.
Little therapy sesh.
We should say goodbye to the Uppies and then.
Oh.
No, we're sitting at 31 minutes, so I say we say goodbye to the Uppies.
That's pristine.
Yeah, dude, and just be like, hey, we're starting another episode, bro, because I still got more I got to talk about, dude. I ain't done.
I knew you would.
Yeah. All right. All right. We love you guys. Always gotta have an official bye. We can't just leave.
Okay. Love you guys. Bye.